Get it. We're starting off with the NFL, NFL's free agency, and man, man. If you guys remember on boom, the 2 minutes of sports, that's kind of like what we're gonna do here with the free agency because it's hot and it's heavy, man. Okay, right off the top, we got DK Metcalf reportedly has been traded from the Seattle Seahawks to the Pittsburgh Steelers for $150 million contract for in exchange for a 2025 second round draft pick. Metcalf will sign a 5-year, $150 million contract with the Steelers. The deal includes 4 new years at $132 million in new money, and it will run through 2029. At 27, he still remains one of the league's better receivers and in his prime, and will provide a significant upgrade to the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Now the question is, who will throw the ball to DK Metcalf? The Steelers' uncertainty at QB. You got Russell Wilson. We know Justin Fields not there, but you know what? I think this is really a perfect landing spot for Aaron Rodgers. And with the NFL free agency, like I said, just popping off like popcorn, before the show is over, we could possibly know who's going to be the Steelers' starting quarterback if they bring in Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so that's the first thing. So let's get rolling. Secondly, Devontae Adams has joined the Los Angeles Rams, signing a 2-year, $46 million contract with $26 million in guaranteed money. It looks like Cooper Kupp is definitely out of LA. Adams, a 6-time Pro Bowler and a 3-time All-Pro receiver, at age 32, he's still got gas in the tank. He's still got tread on the tires with 85 catches for 1,063 yards and 14 TDs just this past season. He's definitely got tread on the tires. Okay, tread on the tires. I'm sorry. Next, the Buffalo Bills agreed to a $300 million extension with MVP Josh Allen. The deal includes a $250 million guaranteed, the largest guaranteed ever to an NFL player. Allen now makes $55 million per year, with only Dak Prescott making more money. The Browns' Deshaun Watson before had the largest guarantee for $230 million, while Patrick Mahomes' deal is still worth more at $450 million. Mother wig. The Bills also cut linebacker Von Miller in a salary cap cost-saving move on the 36-year-old Miller. The Bills will save $8.5 million on their salary cap, but both parties are opening to Miller rejoining the team as a part-time rusher. The Bills also bolstered Josh Allen's weapons as they just signed wide receiver Josh Palmer away from the LA Chargers on a 3-year deal worth $36 million. Man, I'm telling you, man, it is popping. It's a frenzy in the NFL. It's like blood in the water, and the water's full of sharks. I mean, that's exactly what it's like. All righty. Myles Garrett, Moby Dick, is staying in Cleveland, agreeing on a contract extension to make him the highest paid non-QB in NFL history. Myles Garrett will now make $40 million for the next 4 years, with $123.5 million guaranteed and a no trade clause. Great negotiations move by Myles Garrett, done like a real boss. Cleveland, checkmate. He just checkmated y'all. That dude made y'all pay him, and he didn't do nothing. Good move. Hey, listen, Aaron Jones is returning to the Minnesota Vikings on a 2-year deal for $20 million, and $13 million is guaranteed. He was a key contributor to the Vikings' 14-13 season last year. He started all 17 games with 1,546 yards and 7 TDs. That's very, very productive, while averaging 4.5 yards per carry. It looks like the Vikings are all done on second. They're all in on second-year QB JJ McCarthy, as we're gonna keep going with his free agency, and we're gonna get to Sam Darnold in a minute. Now, locally, got to go locally here in the DMV, boy. Hey, man, when they got rid of Daniel Snyder, you could hear all over the DMV, ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. That's how everybody feels in the DMV, man. Locally, Zach Ertz is rejoining the Commanders on a 1-year deal for $6.25 million deal with incentives that can earn him up to $9 million. Ertz became one of rookie sensation Jaden Daniels' favorite targets, especially in the red zone. They're also keeping blocking tight end John Bates also. Now, Washington's GM promised that the Commanders would be busy, and they are. The big splash so far is the signing of all-pro left tackle Laramie Tunsil. Now, let me tell you something. I was really hoping that the Commanders would get Myles Garrett, but let me tell you something, man. Uh, this is better than getting Myles Garrett, believe it or not. Laramie Tunsil has been traded from the Houston Texans for draft picks, just draft picks. This is huge for JD5 and the Commanders. It's huge for their running game. Listen, Commanders fan, he's one of the best left tackles in all of pro football. You guys remember the movie The Blind Side? Next to the quarterback, the left tackle is the most important position on the field because he's protecting Washington's biggest investment. Think about this for a second. What are the Washington Commanders without Jaden Daniels? The losers that they've been for the last 30 years. So you got this gold mine in JD5. Man, you got to get a gold mine left tackle, and that's what the Commanders have done. Listen, I'm going to tell you what's happening. This GM is from the San Francisco 49ers, and you guys know Tom the Bomb's a San Francisco 49er fan. They bring in San Francisco to Washington. Man, y'all better watch out. You might look around and Tom the Bomb might end up in a Commanders jersey. So he's protecting Washington's biggest investment. Then the Commanders went out and have now signed Javon Kinlaw to bolster that defensive line on a 3-year deal for $45 million with $35 million in guaranteed. And the Commanders still aren't done. Boy, they are announcing their presence with authority. The Seattle Seahawks are busy trading QB Geno Smith to the Las Vegas Raiders for a 3rd-round draft pick. Smith reportedly wanted an extension that would pay him $45 million per year, but the Seahawks would not commit. They would not commit more than $35 million, and they still won't pay, say it, Tom, the black QB at 34. Well, they felt he wasn't worth it. I think that's a really bad move on Seattle's part. As a 49er fan, I'm glad. Because in 2022, they did the same thing to Russell Wilson, trading him to Denver. The Seahawks are looking at, they were looking at Sam Howell as a replacement. Ask the Commanders fans how that worked out with Sam Howell. Well, breaking news. I told you guys, this guy's is popping so fast. My notes, it's like I write the notes and then they're irrelevant because something just happened. Well, breaking news, the Seahawks have signed Sam Darnold on a 3-year deal worth $100 million 5-point deal worth $55 million guaranteed. So they got their guy in the range. They didn't want to pay $45 million for a QB. Now, Pete Carroll obviously wanted Geno Smith after coaching him in Seattle. Geno was the 19th highest paid QB in the NFL. I can't think of 18 QBs who are better than Geno Smith. I can't. Come on, man. If Trevor Lawrence can make $55 million, then Geno Smith is definitely worth $45 million. Definitely, man. Justin Fields gets a starting job in New York with the Jets, like I mentioned earlier, on the 2-year deal for $40 million with $30 million guaranteed. He now reunites with his former Ohio State Buckeye Diamond teammate Garrett Wilson. I think this is going to be good for the Jets. I like this move for the Justin Fields and the Jets. Then let's move it on. There's a sinkhole in Philadelphia. There's a sinkhole in Philly, man. That's what happens when you win, Philly fans, as everyone is siphoning from the Super Bowl champs. The Arizona Cardinals just swiped Josh Sweat from the Eagles on a 4-year deal worth $76.4 million with $41 million guaranteed. The Eagles have also lost, check this out, Morgan Moses on the offensive line, and Milton Williams. So I was just telling Lori, you guys, we all saw the Super Bowl, and we saw how the Philadelphia Eagles dominated Mother Wiggs' Kansas City Chiefs with just their front four. And they didn't blitz the whole game. And, man, we ain't seen Patrick Mahomes be harassed like that in a long time. Well, the Eagles have now lost 2 of those starting 2 guys on that front four. But you know what? The Eagles were actually loaded at defensive linemen, so they do have 2 guys that they're going to be able to plug in. But losing Milton Williams and Josh Sweat, that's huge. That's huge. That's good for a Commanders fan. Now, the Patriots had the most money in the cap space available, and they are also announcing their presence with authority. The Patriots have added linebacker Robert Spillane on a 3-year deal worth $37.5 million. Cornerback Carlton Davis III for $60 million on a 3-year deal, and they signed offensive lineman Morgan Moses from the Eagles for 3 years at $24 million. And they've added defensive tackle Milton Williams from the Eagles also on a 4-year deal for a whopping $104 million, which now puts him in the top seven paid defensive linemen in all of the NFL. So, man, the Patriots say, we want it, man. And they just outspent the Eagles, man. My 49ers, my 49ers lose safety Talanoa Hufanga to the Broncos on a 3-year deal for $45 million. Like I said, man, the Niners just can't pay everybody at the top of the scale. The Buccaneers are also keeping wide receiver Chris Godwin at 3 years at $72 million with $44 million guaranteed. The Bucs also signed Hassan Reddick on a 1-year deal for $14 million. All righty, gang. Hey, I got through it. Okay.